Before the first stars were cast across the heavens, before the earth was shaped in the embrace of the sky, there were gods whose names have faded into forgotten whispers. But their stories remain, woven into the very fabric of the land, the truths still pulsing through the soil, the air, and the people who walk this earth. These gods, ancient and primordial, were the architects of the cosmos, before heaven and earth took their form. They are the ones whose hands shaped the mountains, whose voices called the rivers into being, and whose breath ignited the sun. Though many of their names have been erased by time and the tides of history, the essence of these gods is alive in the whispers of the wind, in the rhythm of the drum, and in the heartbeat of every child born to the land. Africa's creation myth, passed down through generations, are not mere stories. They are the sacred truths of a people who understand that the divine is not confined to a distant past, but is woven into the present. These myths speak of gods who were not only the creators of the world, but also the guardians of the universe's deepest laws. These deities, whose legacies echo in the rituals, songs, and spiritual practices of African communities, predate many of the religious narratives that dominate the world today. Long before the concept of a singular creator god, before the creation stories of the Abrahamic traditions, these African gods were at work, shaping the earth, the stars, and the very fabric of life. Their presence in the myths of Africa is both a remembrance and an invitation to reconnect with the divine source of existence. But who were these gods? What stories of creation did they whisper into the ancient winds of Africa? What truths were embedded in the myths, waiting for those with the eyes to see and the ears to listen? These questions, though buried beneath centuries of silence, still call to us today. They beckon us to rediscover the wisdom of our ancestors, to listen once again to the forgotten gods who shaped the world long before the first light of heaven broke across the sky. Long before the heavens and earth were birthed in the image of the Abrahamic stories, Africa's first gods roamed the void, carving realms from the formless dark. They did not merely create worlds, they shaped the very principles of existence itself. These deities were not bound by time or space as we understand it. They moved freely through the nothingness, giving birth to concepts, forces, and energies that would govern the world to come. Unlike the singular, all-powerful creator in other traditions, these gods were diverse and dynamic, each embodying different aspects of the cosmos and contributing to the creation of the universe in their own unique way. Their creation wasn't an isolated event, it was an ongoing process, a continuous flow of divine energy that still shapes the world today. In the African cosmology, the first gods were not distant or detached from their creations, but deeply intertwined with them. Take Bunjil, for example, an Aboriginal African creator god, often said to be the original being who shaped all the lands. Bunjil is not just a god who crafted the earth, but one who embodies the elements, the land, and the skies themselves. His very existence is the blueprint from which all creation flows. The land, rivers, and forests were molded by Bunjil's hands, an act of creation that was both sacred and continuous, always evolving. Similarly, Neame, the sky god in Ghanaian mythology, holds the responsibility for not only creating the world, but also laying down the foundational principles of life. In the Akan tradition, Neame is the source of all things, both visible and invisible. He created humanity from the very essence of the heavens, binding people to the celestial forces that govern life. His breath gave life to the first humans, and his wisdom continues to guide the universe. Through Neame's eyes, creation is a never-ending process of balance and interconnectedness, with everything in the cosmos connected by the same divine force. Unkulunkulu, the first god in Zulu mythology, provides another crucial perspective. According to Zulu beliefs, Unkulunkulu created humanity and nature, breathing life into the first humans made from clay. Unlike the notion of creation from an external force, Unkulunkulu's act was one of deep intimacy. shaping humans from the earth itself, infusing them with spirit and divine purpose. His story tells us that creation is not a single event, but a relationship, an ongoing interaction between the creator and the created. The first gods didn't ask for anything. They simply gave. They shaped form from nothingness, breath from dust, and light from the darkness. Their work was not a one-time event, but a continual act of transformation and renewal. Their creativity did not end once the world was formed. It evolved with every moment, every change, and every life that emerged. What if creation didn't begin with a single divine command, or a linear narrative of, "Let there be light"? What if creation was, and still is, an ongoing process of constant change, renewal, and multiple divine energies converging? What if the gods were not merely observers or distant creators, but active participants in the ever-unfolding story of the world? This concept invites us to reconsider our understanding of creation, not as a finished event, but as an eternal cycle of divine energy, constantly shaping the world around us. The first gods didn't just create the earth, they shaped the very essence of life. It is in their breath that mountains rise and rivers flow. It is through their will that the wind blows and the rains fall. These gods were not abstract forces, distant entities beyond comprehension. They were intimately connected to the elements that define life, actively involved in the shaping of the universe's most fundamental principles. They were the fire that sparked the world's heartbeat, the water that nourished it, and the air that allowed it to breathe. Their actions were not isolated. They formed a harmonious, dynamic dance of creation, where every force, every element worked in concert to bring the world into being. In the Yoruba tradition, Olorun stands as one of the most powerful embodiments of creation. He is the god of the sun, light, and the universe itself. Olorun represents the life-giving force, the solar energy that sustains all existence. According to Yoruba belief, Olorun transcends time and space, holding dominion over the cosmic order. He is the source of all light, the force that enables life to flourish. Without light, without the sun, creation would have no form, no energy, no vitality. Olorun is not just a creator god, he is the very embodiment of life itself. His energy flows through every living being, through every tree, river, and star. His presence is the force that binds the universe together, radiating outward and giving shape to all that exists. Aja, another vital deity in the Yoruba pantheon, embodies the forces of nature and balance. Aja is the goddess of the forest, of animals, and of all things wild. She teaches the delicate balance of life, from the smallest plant to the largest predator. Aja is a goddess of life cycles, growth, decay, and renewal. Through her, nature thrives in its complexity, where every organism plays its role, contributing to the intricate web of life. Aja's influence is felt in the rhythm of the forest, where trees stretch toward the sky, animals roam freely, and the earth breathes in harmony with the cosmos. Her essence is a reminder that creation is not simply about order, but about balance, the constant push and pull of life and death, creation and destruction. She is the spirit of renewal, the breath of nature that sustains the world. Then there is Anansi, the trickster god from West Africa, whose myth weaves together creation with the essential balance of light and darkness. Often depicted as a spider, Anansi is not just a mischievous figure, but also a god of wisdom and storytelling. His myths tell us of the delicate balance between order and chaos, light and dark, good and evil. Anansi's stories bring wisdom to humanity, teaching us about the interplay of these forces and how we must navigate them in our lives. Through his trickery, Anansi shows that creation is not a simple matter of good versus evil. It is complex, filled with contradictions, yet always leading to balance and understanding. Anansi's role in creation is deeply symbolic. He is a teacher and a guide, revealing the hidden aspects of life that others might not see. In the Yoruba myth, Olorun, beyond time and space, is the keeper of the sun, the light that gave birth to all things. Without light, creation would have no form. Without Olorun, there would be no world. His presence is the very essence of being, the light that permeates every corner of the universe. In a world of shadow, light is the force that separates order from chaos, bringing form to formlessness and clarity to darkness. It is through Olorun's divine energy that the universe was born, and it is through his ongoing energy that life continues to thrive. This leads us to a profound question. Could it be that the story of creation was always multiple voices, multiple deities, all shaping and co-creating the cosmos together? Could the universe have been formed not by a single divine being, but by an ensemble of forces, each contributing its essence to the birth of existence? This question challenges the conventional narratives of creation, those that often see the act as an isolated event from a singular, all-powerful force. Instead, African cosmology offers a more collaborative vision of creation, one that recognizes the interdependence of all forces, all beings, all elements. It suggests that creation is not a one-time act, but an ongoing dynamic process in which the gods and their energies work together in harmony. Creation is not just the act of gods bringing the earth into being, it is an ongoing act of remembering. Ancestral memory is a vital link between the first gods and those who walk this earth today. In African spiritual systems, creation is not a one-time event, but a continuous unfolding of divine presence. The gods who shaped the world did not merely disappear after the creation of the earth. They remain with us, deeply embedded in our spiritual consciousness. Their presence is not confined to temples or the sky. It resides within the very souls of the people they created. This connection to the divine is maintained through a constant process of remembering, a remembrance that is passed down through generations. The gods live on through the rituals, practices, and stories that continue to be shared. Ancestral memory in African spirituality is not just about recalling past events or honoring ancestors. It is about keeping the divine energy alive, maintaining a direct link to the forces that shaped the universe. These divine energies do not rest solely in the past. They are active in the present, continuously flowing through the people. The ancestors are seen as living beings whose wisdom, guidance, and power are always available to their descendants. They live not just in our thoughts, but in our actions, in the way we move through the world, in the way we honor our traditions, and in the way we engage with the spiritual forces around us. African spiritual traditions believe that the gods reside not just in sacred places, but in the very essence of the people. It is through the body, the soul, and the spirit that the divine is accessed. The spiritual practices and rituals passed down over time are the means by which people tap into these divine energies, whether through prayer, song, dance, or ritual sacrifice. These practices are acts of remembrance, calling the gods into the present moment. When an African practitioner engages in these rituals, they are not simply honoring a distant past. They are activating the power of the gods within themselves, invoking their strength, wisdom, and presence into the world. Through these practices, individuals are able to reconnect with the gods, bringing their divine presence into their daily lives. It is in the rhythm of the drum, in the movement of the dance, and in the words of the song that the gods are remembered and called upon. These acts are not mere performances or symbolic gestures. They are spiritual gateways through which the divine enters and interacts with the world. It is through this remembrance that the ancient power embedded within the people is activated, a power that links them to the original creators of the world. In essence, African spirituality is a constant cycle of creation and remembrance, an ongoing dialogue between the gods and humanity. We do not merely worship the gods of Africa, we remember them. Through dance, song, and ritual, we tap into the divine energies of those who walked before us, activating the ancient power embedded within us. This statement speaks to the essence of African spiritual practice. The idea that worship is not just about acknowledging the gods from a distance, but about actively engaging with them, inviting them into the present moment, and participating in the ongoing act of creation. The spiritual connection between the gods and their people is not one of passive devotion, but an active living force that flows through every part of life. By remembering the gods through ritual, Africans honor their ancestors and keep the divine forces alive. These acts of remembrance are not just about preserving history. They are about ensuring that the divine energies that shape the world continue to shape the present. The ancestors do not remain in the past. They walk with us today, guiding us, teaching us, and offering their strength. In this way, creation is not something that happened once long ago. It is an ongoing living process powered by the energy of the gods and the spirits of the ancestors. In African spirituality, the gods do not act alone. They are part of a cosmic balance, a harmonious dance of forces that work together to maintain the order of the universe. This sacred balance is not static or fixed, but a dynamic interplay of energies that shape and define the world. The gods, each embodying a unique aspect of life, contribute to this delicate equilibrium, ensuring that all elements, both seen and unseen, work in concert. This interconnectedness of divine forces challenges us to think beyond the idea of a singular god or isolated forces. Instead, it invites us to see the universe as a complex web of divine energies, constantly interacting, shifting, and evolving. Through this understanding, we begin to recognize the deeper truths of African cosmology. Everything is connected, and all things serve a purpose in the larger dance of existence. Key deities such as Orunmila, Shango, Oshun, and Oya are central to this cosmic balance, each representing a vital force that contributes to the harmony of life. Orunmila, the god of wisdom and knowledge, governs the principles of fate and destiny. He is the one who sees the unseen, guiding individuals toward their purpose and ensuring the proper flow of events in the world. His wisdom is the blueprint for the unfolding of creation, the structure that holds everything in place. Without Orunmila's guidance, the universe would fall into disarray, unable to follow its divine order. Shango, the god of thunder and fire, brings energy and transformation. His force is that of intense dynamic change, often linked to destruction that clears the way for new growth. Shango embodies both the creative and destructive forces in nature, highlighting the necessity of balance between these opposing elements. Without Shango's fiery energy, nothing would be able to rise anew. He teaches that to create, one must first break down what no longer serves a purpose. His role in the cosmic balance is to ensure that life remains vibrant and ever-changing, never stagnant. Oshun, the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility, represents the nurturing and sustaining forces of life. Her energy flows through the rivers and the earth, bringing abundance and harmony. Ocean is the force that ensures life flourishes, that relationships remain healthy and full of love, and that the earth remains fertile and capable of sustaining life. She balances the more forceful deities like Shango with her compassion, kindness, and care for all that she touches. Ocean's role is to ensure the ongoing vitality of creation, to remind us that love and harmony are just as necessary as strength and power in maintaining balance. Oya, the goddess of winds and storms, represents transformation through chaos. Oya is the force of change, disruption, and the cycles of life and death. Her winds sweep through the earth, clearing away the old and making space for the new. Oya embodies the wisdom of letting go, of accepting the natural cycles of birth and death, and recognizing that from destruction comes renewal. Her presence in the cosmic balance is essential for the ongoing transformation of life itself, ensuring that nothing remains static and that the world is in a constant state of evolution. These gods do not work in isolation. They function together, ensuring the smooth operation of the natural world, human existence, and the divine realms. They represent the many forces that govern life, death, change, and stabilities, each playing its part in the ongoing rhythm of existence. In African cosmology, there is no division between the heavens and the earth, between man and nature. It is all part of the same divine rhythm, the pulse of life itself. This interconnectedness is at the heart of African spirituality, where the physical and spiritual worlds are seen as inextricably linked, each influencing and shaping the other. This understanding of the divine as a network of interconnected energies leads us to a profound spiritual challenge. What if the true nature of the divine is not a singular force, but an infinite, intertwined web of energies and spirits? What if creation is not the work of a single god or force, but the result of countless divine energies coming together in harmony? This vision of the divine invites us to think beyond traditional concepts of a singular god or deity and embrace a more expansive, holistic view of the cosmos. In this view, the divine is not distant and separate from the world, but deeply embedded in every aspect of life, in every relationship, in every moment of existence. By recognizing the interconnectedness of all divine forces, we come to understand that the universe is not a collection of isolated parts, but a living, breathing whole, constantly in motion. The gods do not simply create and control the universe from afar. They are part of it, ever present in the rhythm of the natural world and in the lives of all beings. This understanding challenges us to see creation as an ongoing collaborative process, where multiple forces, both visible and invisible, come together to shape the cosmos. In this dance of energies, the gods are not simply masters of the world. They are partners in the continuous flow of life, death, and renewal. The forgotten gods speak to us today, their stories carried on the winds, embedded in the soil beneath our feet. These gods, long silenced or forgotten by modern narratives, still shape who we are, where we come from, and who we are meant to be. Though many have been overshadowed by colonial forces and the spread of Abrahamic religions, the ancient deities of Africa have never truly disappeared. Their presence lives on in the rituals, traditions, and memories of the people who have carried their stories through time, especially in the African diaspora. These gods are not distant relics of a forgotten past. They are living forces continually shaping the identities and spiritual journeys of people across the globe. In the African diaspora, the connection to these ancient gods remains strong, even in the face of centuries of displacement, repression, and cultural erasure. Across the Americas, the Caribbean, and Europe, African diasporic communities have maintained their spiritual practices through oral traditions, rituals, and cultural expressions. From the Yoruba traditions that gave birth to religions like Santeria and Candomblé, to the Vodou practices of Haiti, these communities have kept the divine connection alive through generations. In these spiritual systems, the gods are not abstract or distant. They are embodied in the rituals that invoke them, in the songs that call their names, and in the dances that honor their power. The pulse of the drum, the rhythm of the song, and the movement of the body all serve as conduits for divine energy, connecting the worshippers to the forgotten gods who have shaped their world. Reclaiming African spirituality is an act of deep personal and collective healing. For many, this reclamation is not just about returning to old ways, it is about reconnecting with the roots of their identity, rediscovering a spiritual foundation that predates colonial and Abrahamic influences. African spirituality offers a sense of belonging that transcends the fractured histories of enslavement and colonialism. It provides a framework for understanding the world, a worldview that embraces the interconnectedness of all things, humans, nature, and the divine. It affirms the strength and resilience of African people, reminding them of the profound wisdom that flows from their ancestors and the gods who continue to guide them. The importance of this spiritual reclamation cannot be overstated. In a world that often seeks to define identity through external narratives, African spirituality offers a powerful reminder that identity is not simply shaped by historical events or external forces, but by a deep personal connection to the divine. The gods who once carved the cosmos are not lost to us. They are found in the heartbeat of the African diaspora, in the pulse of every drum, every prayer, every dance that echoes across the continents. These words remind us that the divine presence is not confined to the past, but is active in the lives of those who continue to honor and embody the gods. Through this connection, African diasporic communities not only reclaim their spiritual heritage, but also empower themselves to move forward with a deep sense of purpose, strength, and identity rooted in the ancient gods who shaped their world. These forgotten gods, once dismissed or overshadowed by modern narratives, are not lost to us. They still live, breathe, and pulse through the lands of Africa and the hearts of the diaspora. Their wisdom, their power, and their stories continue to shape who we are, where we come from, and who we are meant to be. They are woven into the rhythms of our drums, the words of our prayers, and the movements of our dances. These gods are not just memories of a distant past. They are living, breathing forces that continue to guide us and shape our collective and individual destinies. As we reconnect with these ancient deities, we reclaim not just our spiritual heritage, but a deeper sense of ourselves. Through the rituals, the stories, and the spiritual practices handed down through generations, we tap into the power that was once ours, the divine connection that transcends time and history. In doing so, we reject the fractured identity that colonialism and slavery tried to impose on us, embracing instead a holistic and dynamic understanding of our connection to the universe, the divine, and each other. The gods who once carved the cosmos continue to speak to us today. Through the sacred rituals, the music, and the dance that echo across the continents, they remind us that creation is not a single, isolated event, but a living, ongoing process shaped by countless divine energies. The pulse of life itself flows through these gods, and as we remember them, we also remember ourselves. We reconnect with the deep primal forces that shaped the world, and in doing so, we reconnect with our true selves. As we move forward, let us embrace the divine balance of the universe and honor the gods who have never truly left us. Let us continue to remember them, for in their remembrance lies our power, our identity, and our destiny. The first gods are not lost. They walk with us, guiding us through the dance of life, death, and renewal, reminding us that we are part of a cosmic rhythm that stretches across time and space. As long as we remember them, they will continue to shape us as they have shaped the world since the beginning of time.